Hi everyone, this is Avantika, and I'm just a software engineer.
Okay, we all are software engineer in this meeting, and I'm also a software engineer. So, but we are going to answer some questions which are related to life. So, we have this first question for you, Avantika.
Yes.
It is from one of our viewers who have asked this question. People care about the wrong things all their lives. They have petty concerns, and when they look back, at a certain stage of life, they realize they wasted a hell lot of time worrying. If you got the question, so tell me like you
Yeah,
got it,
yeah.
or I'll repeat it.
No, I just got it.
So, what is your take on this?
So yes, Shrishti, I totally believe that we all, live our life in such manners that we most of the time we are thinking about our past doings, and if not thinking about them, then we are all the time we are just regretting over our doings and thinking about what if I would have done this, what if I would have thought that at certain situations. And we rather instead of focusing on our present or taking some actions about our present situation, we just keep on going back to some old pages and regretting over them and crying over them unnecessarily. And it not only degrade our present moment happiness, but it also somewhat harm our progress. Because if would have what if we are able to give 100% in the present situation, but we just because we are thinking about our past situation and we have kept our mind calculatively busy in thinking about past doings, so we degrade our performance level from 100% to I think somewhat 50% or 60%. So it totally harm our performance level, and it brings us to a mentally depressed situation sometimes if you keep on overthinking a lot. So some people go into depressed state. I think it's very easy to say that forget your past and move on, but it's not so easy. So I think we should find some solution. Like, we cannot always keep on saying and throwing these words at everyone that forget your past and move on. It's not so easy. We need to find some very valid solutions to it that can keep us mentally busy, and like that can push ourselves to really move on to our life and see life with a wider lens, not just looking back and again. So I think we should find some solution that can be like we should keep ourselves busy. That will be the first solution I can give. And do what and get to know your own self. That will again push you to forget your past, or not to actually forget but just to overcome from your past, because we can never really forget what has happened with us. If that is a bad thing, it comes again and again to haunt us. But we can what we can do is to understand that what has happened, we cannot change it. Like, what has happened, we cannot change it, so we need to learn from it now and move forward with it. Realize that accept it. Acceptance, I think, is a great key here to just move on from your past. Like, you need to accept it. Most of the time we are so afraid of accepting our failures, or accepting that yes, we have gone through that such phases, and yes, it has actually happened with us, because we are always taking so precautions to protect us emotionally, that if something emotionally hurt us, we are like shattered. We don't want to believe that yes, we have been defeated, or we have someone has like really stabbed us inside our cocoon. We protected us, but someone really hurt us. And uh, after taking so much of what we can say hard work, we have really failed in our life. So we need to accept it. The moment I think we'll accept it, we'll be a very great person.
Okay, here I think you have deviated from the question. The question was something else. And you have totally like moved it on to a relationship question or something like based on any other kind of relationship or based on past.
But no,
So you
I
changed the deformed the question. The question was when we people look back in our lives, reaching at a certain stage in our life, like reaching 60s, 70s, and when we're looking back, like what we have done in our life, like that was that was the question. I think it deviated from the
I was
path.
just telling about past situations, and then I don't know. I was not basically pointing to the relationship. I was just pointing to someone when we get
Snapped.
failures in our
Yeah.
life, or when we get yeah, emotionally disbalanced in our life. So that was my main point. So
Yeah,
I was
so
thinking,
these are the kind of petty concerns which we were talking about, but like how do we see it when we are reaching at a certain point in our life, like 80s, 60s, when we are on our deathbed ready to die, and then when we are looking back at our life and we are thinking like what we have done, what all petty concerns were concerning us, and why we were so worried about all these things. So that situation, like, do you know, like, what I'm saying? Do you understand?
but I think when we, as you mentioned, that when we are on our deathbed, so
Yeah.
I think at that moment, that is the last moment of our life. So I think it's not bad that
No,
we
we
are
have people fight with their friends, or something happens in their life which they regret. And even when they are on their deathbed, so they are saying, I should have done this, I should have done that. Like, I shouldn't have been
yes,
rude to people, and so many other things. Yeah, you're getting what
yeah.
I'm saying.
So
Yeah.
I think that is this is how we are brought up, that we all sometimes every time something else is important in our life, so we just neglect that person, that situation, or just keep that thing aside. And when the moment we just step forward, then when we realize we are alone, or when we need someone emotionally, or when we face failure, then we it's the easiest thing that we can do easiest thing we can do to ourselves is just look back and say that because of this thing
Yeah.
we are in our current situation. So this is the one, we need someone to whom we can blame for our present worst situation. If it is good, then we won't look back. But if it's bad, then we'll definitely look back and we'll find something to blame.
Yeah, we
It may be the
humans need.
situation, it may be the person, it may be situation, it may be anything. Maybe our mental health at that time, maybe our health conditions at that time. So we need someone to blame. So I think we should not blame, rather than we should accept it. That's what I'm saying, that we should accept it, that yes,
Yeah.
it has gone, we have no control over it, and we cannot change it even.
I hope this second question answers this. You have already answered this question, because the question was, we managed to never really connect with the present moment and find fulfillment because we are continuously hoping to become happy in the future, and the future never arrives. So I think you have
Yeah,
already answered that for our viewers.
give
If you can just throw some
give it in
light.
a nutshell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the major part. We have been taught in such a way, or maybe we have brought up in such a way, that we are always continuously somewhat in our back we are thinking about our future, planning about our future, plotting so many things, and like calculation we are doing on mind to just do best in future gone through. We should realize that future is so unpredictable. What we have in our hand is our present moment. Like when you are just shut in one room for 5 6 months with like the basic necessities, so you should realize that life is all about creating happy moments in small things. Like these materialistic things or these things won't be giving you happiness for a longer term. You should be happy inside, first of all, because if you are given a time period of 5 6 months and living in a one room, you cannot go anywhere, you cannot spend your lot of money on any lavish things. So you should realize that the major thing that can make give you happiness for longer term is that when you realize that you are happy inside, you are fulfilled, and you're satisfied with your life. And for that, you have to forget about thinking about future. You have to live in present. When you start living in present and forget future and forget the deals with future, so I think you will be better person.
Hmm.
That's what I
For
believe.
for different people, there are different ways to fulfillment, like inside happiness, which you have said. So people would want to know, like, what is your way of that inside happiness? For many, it is meditation and gardening and so many things which they feel good, like they feel good
Yes.
doing it. Yeah. So, what is your way?
Yeah, I feel happy doing gardening
Okay.
when I spend time with my plants, and I think they can really resonate with your energy if you really talk with them, your plants. So I don't know the what we call that term, but if you want to, if some in some area if people want to kill a plant, they just curse that plant, and slowly that plant dies. If you can get me that process, what we call.
What I didn't get, like if people curse a plant, then that plant ultimately dies. That's what you've said.
Yeah.
So what is the word for this?
No, this is a process in some
Hmm.
area. I don't know in which people do this process, but if they want to kill a plant, suppose they want to uh, destroy a plant from such certain area, they every day they just go, bunch of people go there and curse that plant, that you are, I don't know, just cursing that plant, and slowly that plant dies.
Yeah.
I maybe it may rot. This is a process if we search on internet. So this is the way the plant really resonate with your energy. If you talk with them, they really resonate it back, so they can
But
give you the happiness if you.
yeah, but I think that it is a part of misbelief which we are talking about here. When people
No,
just
but this is a
go, yeah, just when people go and curse that plant, so that plant at after some point of time it ultimately dies. That's what you're saying. Yeah. So
yeah.
when the people
I
are
don't know. This is
cursing that plant, so they're I think they're not even watering that plant. So ultimately that plant has to die. So they are
but
thinking
the
like,
point is here. The point is here that the communication with the living thing, because plant is ultimately a living thing, and we say that
yeah,
if it's not able to speak with us, that doesn't mean that it does not revert us back the energy, that we give it back to you,
yeah,
back giving back to it. Ultimately, if we are giving positive energy, I myself have seen, if I talk to my plant that please grow and don't die, so you know, no, it's reality. If you nurture your plant like very happy, like your own babies, they grow very well, and they will revert the back happiness back to you. You will feel really happy when a flower blooms or anything happens, because plants have such energies that they make you happy. If you ask a farmer, if he grows a lot of harvest, so he's not happy that he'll get the more money. He's happy because his plant, his hard work has is growing well. So that's what the benefit of doing, getting close to nature, I mean. Nature really gives you happiness, I
yeah.
believe.
That's good.
These are my way of giving making myself happy or
Yeah.
making myself busy. But there are many people who love to do drawing, painting, dancing, and yoga, meditation,
Hmm.
that gym, doing gym, binge watching some movies. Like, there are various ways, but ultimately the goal is that to keep just ourselves busy, and not just thinking about random stuff, but rather than pushing ourselves to learn something good, or getting something better out of ourselves.
Yeah.
Because when we are busy with something, we we don't learn so much, but we grow. Yeah.
That one thing that I have also experienced in this lockdown. So if we are like working on something, if you are working on something or executing one task, anything like making a pot, gardening, or growing plants, so when it actually happens, so there is that sense of joy, and there is that sense of that we have completed it, and you feel really happy after that. So that I have also experienced, and I think I have never experienced that before, or maybe that feeling was there and I was not maybe that feeling was there and I was not aware of it. So now